This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. Police are hunting two men on a motorcycle who shot and killed a municipal government worker here Wednesday afternoon. The Pagalungan Municipal Police identified the victim as Christopher Malinco, a job order worker at the Pagalungan Civil Registrar's office and a resident of Piquet, North Cotabato. Police Colonel Sultan Salman Sapal, Maguindanao del Sur Provincial Police Director, said the local police have identified persons of interest in the killing. Manhunt is ongoing, said Police Captain Datamasla Mangalangkat Pagalungan. Police Chief. The victim was riding on the back of a motorcycle driven by a co-worker when they were attacked. Malinco died on the spot, while his companion was unharmed. The Pagalungan police said the motive could be a personal grudge. A police officer assigned to the Bacolod City Police Office surrendered and confessed today, November 1, 2025, to the disappearance and killing of the female owner of a blood-stained Hyundai Accent found abandoned in Hinigaran, Negros Occidental. Last Wednesday, the 29th of October, the slain businesswoman was identified by police authorities here as Christine Joy Dignidis, 42, of Victoria City, also in Negros Occidental. The police regional office Negros Island region, in a statement, assured the public that there would be no cover-up in the ongoing investigation into the case of Dignidis's killing, whose grey Hyundai Accent was found abandoned with bloodstains in Sitio Soul, Barangay Gagato, Hinigaran, Negros Occidental, on the 29th of October. Earlier today, November 1st, the policeman tagged as the prime suspect voluntarily surrendered to PRONIR Regional Director Police Brigadier General Arnold Thomas C.I.B. at Camp Alfredo M. Montalbano Senior, the regional police headquarters in Bacolod City. The police, however, were yet to reveal the motive behind the crime. The suspect was assisted by legal counsel during the process and confessed his involvement in the disappearance and killing of the vehicle's female owner and identified the location where the body was concealed, the police said. As of Saturday afternoon, search and recovery operations were being conducted by the regional police's scene of crime operation personnel and special investigation team to recover the victim's body. IBE stressed that the surrender of the suspect was a significant breakthrough, but also reaffirmed the PNP's commitment to uphold integrity and accountability in handling the case. There will be no cover-up. We will let the evidence speak for itself. The full force of the law will be applied regardless of who is involved. Justice will be served to the victim and her family, said IBE. He further ordered a parallel administrative investigation to ensure transparency and accountability within the organization. We owe it to the public we serve to demonstrate that no one is above the law. We will make sure that this case is pursued with fairness, professionalism, and compassion for the victim's family, the PRONIR director added. The PRONIR said it would continue to coordinate with the Negros Occidental Police Provincial Office and other concerned units to ensure that all aspects of the investigation are handled thoroughly and objectively. A barangay chairman was gunned down on Sunday in Purok 7, Barangay Najiga, Calbayog City. Police identified the victim as Rogelio Salvame, 50, of Barangay Ginbayoan Norte, Calbayog City. Police Lieutenant Colonel Dinviravita, Calbayog City Police Chief, said Salvame and his 34-year-old live-in partner were on board a motorcycle on their way home when a man driving a motorcycle appeared and opened fire at the victim. The victim's live-in partner was unharmed. Salvame was taken to a hospital where he was declared dead. Rivita said a suspect was positively identified by the victim's live-in partner and apprehended in a hot pursuit operation. Police are conducting follow-up investigation. A police officer in a Cebu province was relieved for making a controversial twist to the Bring Me game on social media, where he offered cash rewards to anyone who could bring drug users and pushers to the police. Philippine National Police spokesperson and information chief, Brigadier General Randolph Tuano said the video of the police officer, who was assigned to an administrative unit in Talisay City, has already been taken down. In the video, the police officer offered 2,000 pesos and 5,000 pesos for those who could bring a drug user and a street-level pusher, respectively. This is from the police officer's personal account. Now, on the orders of our chief PNP, the person and his chief of police were asked to submit an explanation to the director of the ACG, Brigadier General Bernard Yang. Although it was taken down, we have preserved it and their digital investigation will proceed to determine what charges can be filed, Tuano told reporters in a press briefing held at Camp Crame Monday. Tuano said the act is a clear violation of the PNP's operational procedures. He also reminded police officers to follow the guidelines for video content creation issued by the PNP Directorate for Police Community Relations. Meanwhile, 184 police officers have been dismissed under PNP Acting Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr.'s leadership. Citing PNP records, Nartates said 347 cops were placed under restriction, 118 were also suspended, 27 were demoted for various offenses, 18 reprimanded, and 222 personnel were sanctioned through withholding of privileges. There is no place in the bag in PNP for police officers who betray the badge. Our policy is firm, zero tolerance for corruption, abuse, or any act that undermines public trust. We will not hesitate to remove anyone who dishonors the uniform, Nartates said in a statement. He said the PNP continues to enforce merit-based promotion, fair recognition of accomplishments, and essential support programs, including medical and welfare assistance, strategic recruitment, attrition, and asset inventory also ensure that police units remain fully equipped and mission ready, he added. A barangay councillor and an active member of an anti-communist organization was shot dead by unidentified gunmen outside his home in Puracuan, Barangay Tambad, Cagayan, Negros Occidental on Monday, November 3. The police regional office Negros Island region said 6 armed men arrived at the victim's house and called him outside around 5 am. The victim came out, was told to sit down, and shot multiple times in the chest and abdomen. He died on the spot. The incident was reported to authorities at around 7:30 am. Recovered from the crime scene were 3 empty cartridges and a deformed slug. The PRONIR has created a special investigation task group to thoroughly probe the killing. The SITG will investigate all possible angles, including motives related to the victim's position in the government and his affiliation with Sambayan and Cagayan chapter, an anti-communist group. Police Brigadier General Arnold Thomas Ibe, PRONIR director, condemned the brutal killing that he described as a cowardly act that has no place in a peaceful and democratic society. We condemn in the strongest terms this violent attack against an elected barangay official, Ibe said in a statement. He assured that they will exhaust all resources to ensure that justice is served swiftly and that those responsible are held accountable. A member of the Philippine Coast Guard was shot dead by an unidentified suspect early Wednesday morning, November 5, along Barlin Street in Sampaloc, Manila. According to the Manila Police District, the incident occurred around 4 am. The victim was identified as Apprentice Seaman Alhazal Tati, 38, Lieutenant Colonel Arwin da Silva Nacional, chief of the Barbosa police station, said the victim reportedly had a heated argument with the suspect that escalated into a fistfight. Moments later, the suspect allegedly pulled out a .45 caliber firearm, chased the victim, and shot him. Because the victim was Muslim, no autopsy was conducted. The MPD confirmed that the suspect was known to the victim and is now the subject of a follow-up investigation. His remains were retrieved by Philippine Coast Guard personnel for immediate burial in accordance with Islamic tradition. Authorities are conducting a follow-up investigation to identify the suspect and determine the motive behind the attack. Criminal and administrative complaints were filed against Energy Secretary Sharon Garin before the Office of the Ombudsman for her alleged violation of a coal moratorium after she reportedly approved a 1,200 megawatt coal-fired power plant project in Atimanan, Quezon, in July this year. The 30-page complaint was lodged by various church leaders and residents from the province, along with the Philippine Movement for Climate Justice on Monday, accusing Garin of violating Section 3E and J of Republic Act No. 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act and for purportedly committing grave misconduct, gross neglect of duty, and conduct prejudicial to the best interest of service. According to PMCJ and other groups, Garin reportedly exempted the 1,200 MW Atimanan 1 Energy Incorporated coal-fired power plant project from the moratorium, despite it not meeting the requirements necessary for exemption. Under the coal moratorium issued by the Department of Energy in 2020, concerned stakeholders were notified that the agency would not process applications for greenfield coal-fired power generation facility projects requesting for endorsements and existing and operational coal-fired power generation facilities, among others. There is overwhelming opposition against the construction of the Atimanan coal plant. It is not just the church but the people of Atimanan and Quezon province. Besides, the economic and financial arguments are clearly against it, said Warren Punio, lead convener of Quezon for Environment in a statement handed out to the media during the filing. No one is interested in investing in the construction of coal plants anymore, as their era has passed. Even the past DOE leadership has given up on it. DOE Secretary Garin has created a mess, and now she has to face the consequences, he added. For his part, PMCJ Chief Legal Counsel Aaron Pedrosa stressed that even DOE's the 14th of October advisory expanding the exemptions to the moratorium cannot be retroactively applied to justify the Atimanan coal plant project. In the face of ongoing protests and investigation into the flood control issue, Garin should be investigated for facilitating the endorsement and approval of projects supposedly banned by the government, Aaron Pedrosa said. Aside from the moratorium, the lawyer noted that the project also violates the Department of Health, Department of Interior and Local Government Joint Administrative Order No. 2021-0001, also known as Guidelines for the Operationalization of the Health Impact Assessment Review Process for Development Projects, as the project proponent has yet to send an application for Health Impact Clearance Certificate. Puno said they were trying to talk to Garin about the concerns plaguing the project and even stage a protest, but the DOE chief did not respond to them. Garin's camp, on the other hand, said they have yet to receive a copy of the complaint. That's all for this week. I'll see you next Friday with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.